Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new show for Sunday nights. We are back with Kandi and the gang for season 1, episode 1. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel because we are going to be reviewing this show each and every week, and I want y'all along for the ride with me. And please don't hesitate to hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, y'all, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. When the episode first opens up, we see Kandi and the gang and the inception of the OLG. Shout out to Cynthia for coining the name. Y'all remember when Cynthia was standing outside of a Mother's Love play? And she was standing out there talking to Phaedra, High Class Parks. And she looked at Phaedra and she was like, you know, they act like a little gang. They're like the little old lady gang. Y'all remember that? And that's when the name was born, honey. I don't think I forgot. So anyway, we revisit when Todd had the bright idea to open a restaurant, and she tells us a lot of her family works for the restaurant, but they lost the GM. The place went downhill. So there's some new faces and some old faces. She doesn't want to fire the old people because they're loyal. Kandi gonna be loyal to a fault. Do y'all hear me? Baby, Kandi got loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. Honey, she is loyal. But are they performing, Kandi? Like, are they performing? Y'all know what this show reminds me of? When the show first started, it reminded me of Hustle and Soul. Baby, that used to be my show. If you do not know what Hustle and Soul is, it's about this restaurant called the Pink Teacup. And it started in New York. And then they moved it to Miami. Well, they didn't move it, but they have another franchise in Miami. And baby, they used to be fighting all up and through. So the owner, he had a fiance. And then he was also sleeping with another girl. And his fiance, Kandi, was always fighting with her. And Charlie was a whole fool, child. He wanted her and her and her and her. And he was basically sleeping with everybody in the restaurant. It was so good, child. I miss Hustle and Soul. But anywho, that's what this show reminds me of. Okay, let's get back on track. That's just a side note. So Todd and Kandi are on their way to the restaurant, and they're talking in the car about how, you know, things have taken a turn since they don't go to the restaurant as much, and how they lost their GM over a year ago, but they still have Philip. And they said Philip's going to go in and get the people together, okay? Because right now they're doing whatever they want to do. So Philip is 36. He's from the A, and he's the director of operations and a certified ball buster. He is the director of operations at Blaze, so they're hoping that he can translate all the success that they're having at Blaze over to the OLG. Philip was like, you know, they say I'm very strong-minded. I'm a very strong-minded person. And people always ask me if I'm, you know, in the military. I mean, some of the reviews did say the food tasted like military MREs. So, I mean, maybe that's it. No, I'm just kidding, child. I'm just playing. He's like, I think it's the haircut. No, it's not the haircut. It's your no-nonsense approach. That's what it is in the way you speak to people. So they arrive at the OLG to Philip and Don Juan. Hey, Don Whiz on. Kandi said, you know, Don Juan is her right-hand man. Now, if you've ever watched any episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta the early years, then you know that Don Juan is always not too far behind Kandi. And one thing I can say about Don Juan, we know that out of every single person attached to the Kandi Coded clique, shout out to Portia, anybody attached to the Kandi Coded gang, the clique, the whoever, anybody attached to Kandi, even Todd, and you know he don't too much care for Todd like that, allegedly. Don Juan is going to make sure that he stands 10 toes down for Kandi. I have to give that to Don Juan, baby. He do not play about Kandi and her family. So she was like, you know, he helps the restaurant to keep running, but that's not his purpose. Like, he's supposed to be handling other things. So the crew has no idea that Philip is there to crack the whip, but today they're going to tell him why he's been hanging around and fiddling with the menus and whatnot. So Philip tells us that they recruited him from a refined and structured restaurant group, and he was with them for 16 years. And y'all know when I was looking at Philip, I'm like, Philip is a handsome man. He's very aesthetically pleasing. Like his bone structure and all of that, it's like that of a model almost. Well, that's what I think when I look at him. I'm like, Philip is actually very handsome. So anywho, that's a side note. So he's telling Kandi and Todd that he's not trying to come in there and disrupt the flow, but it's time to make the operation run a little bit more smoothly. So Todd was like, well, you know, they already talking ish about you. He said, oh, okay, yeah, I can tell. And I know the people who are a part of the problem and the people who have a problem. So baby, then they pan over to the prep area for the restaurant to open, and we meet Chandrika, 31, from Buffalo, New York, and she is the original OLG hostess. So she's an OG of the OLG. But y'all, not they put her side hustle as selling designer sunglasses. I said, why they gotta make us so ethnic? Child, shout out to the designer sunglasses of it all, honey. I'm gonna have to go to the website. I love to support y'all. Ooh, honey, this is a fool. So, Chandrika, she reminds me of one of those people that has been working at a place for a long time and they feel like they're a veteran, so they feel entitled because they've been there the longest. Be the worst employee you ever did want to meet. It don't work like that, Chandrika, okay? Kandi was like, we have 3 hostesses, but Chandrika is a great host, but sometimes, she got attitude. Oh, okay, well, back of the house she goes. And when I say back of the house, for those of you who've never worked in a restaurant, I mean, girl, go on back there. Because the hostess is essentially the face of the restaurant. When you enter, the experience starts with them. Like if she has an attitude, she should not be the first point of contact. Let me tell y'all something. When I used to work in a restaurant, child, it used to be a whole fool. If the hostess got an attitude, they come sit these people down in my section. Now they looking at me and I'm looking at them and I'm wondering why they got an attitude. And now they mad because the hostess done sat them down with dirty menus and her attitude is matching. That's not going to work. Oh, no, ma'am, honey. Absolutely not. So she's like, well, they have said some things that are not so nice about her in the reviews. See? Kandi. So then Chandrika goes, well, I'm nice sometimes. She's a pretty woman, but pretty girls can't be walking around with no stank attitude at your big grown age, honey. That is not cute. It's definitely not giving the judge that should be given. Absolutely not. So then we meet Dominique. She's 32. She's a bartender and a professional dancer. Been in the A for 5 years, but she's originally from Miami. Shout out to the 305. So Kandi goes, she's been with us for a while, but dancing comes first and we come second. Well, Kandi, she don't want to be a bartender forever. She's aspiring to take those baby hairs she created on the road, child. Let me tell y'all something. Dominique has taken her hair and parted it up in the front like the Red Sea and brought that hair down ever so towards her eyebrows. This baby hair assassination has got to stop. Do y'all hear me? Honey, we gonna have to retire. Like, if your hair don't naturally lay down, you just barely put a little bit. Child, not them big old baby hairs, honey. But I like Dominique. But baby, them baby hairs are fool. Do y'all hear me? So she says she's danced for artists such as Megan Thee Stallion. I know it ain't a stallion. You know it's your girl. Shout out to Keke Palmer. I love hearing that sound on TikTok. Every time I hear that sound, I be like, yes, let's get into it. Keke is so crazy. Moving forward. She's like, yeah, I'm a bartender. I can go away for a month. I can do my dance and I can come back and I can still have a job. Yes. Y'all know what? The beauty of having a restaurant job is as long as those shifts are covered and you've put in your time, child, you can go. Come right on back and get right back behind the bar and start making drinks. So they're about to have a quick staff alignment before the restaurant opens, right? And we meet Brandon. Oh, child. Brandon gonna be something else. He's 33. He's a manager and a workplace flirt. Child is always one, honey. Always one. They told us Brandon stepped up as general manager when they lost theirs. And Todd says, he got some good energy, but he's not GM material. Kandi is like, well, at least he's trying. Oh, Kandi, that's so sweet. But, ma'am, absolutely not. This is your brand on the line. Y'all need to hire a general manager, child. Y'all acting like Tisha and Marceau over there on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Child, it's a whole fool. So then they started talking about how the OLG is causing a ruckus. The sisters, child, they giving their 2 cents. They gonna say what they gonna say no matter what. So the 3 sisters are doing a confessional, right? Looking jazzy. Okay, girls. And the producer asked them if they considered themselves a gang. Here go on, Bertha. No. And we go to church every Sunday. Now, when she said that, I was cackling, okay, y'all? And I was waiting for Mama Joyce to tell her truth and shame the devil. And she was like, well, except me. I was like, all right, because I was finna say. I was finna say, Mama Joyce, don't try it, child. So they joined the staff for this staff meeting, right? Everybody looking crazy. Baby Brandon said good morning. Ain't nobody said nothing. This is the thing. When the restaurant is about to get ready to open, you don't come right before the restaurant opens. When I used to be a server, normal restaurants open at 11 a.m. Okay, that's normally when they open. But I saw on Kandi's sign that they open at 12:30. So she's giving them a little time to open their eyes up. Okay, go down to the local Starbucks. Shout out to Starbucks. Get whatever it is they need and wake their brains up. Me? When I used to work in a restaurant, it would open at 11. You had to be there at 9:45, 10 o'clock at the latest. You ain't even really just gotten yourself together because God forbid you worked a double the previous night. Now you got to come in and be fresh and happy for the next group of people. My Chandrika used to take over. I'm like, oh, honey, not right now. I don't want to get you no more tea right now. We just open. Child, was a fool. Child, it's just a side note. So Kandi telling them about all the changes, and she tells them that Philip's going to be the new director of operations. Here goes Chandrika. Oh, child, I do not like him. Mind you, it's 12 minutes until they open. Now, y'all know it's hot in Georgia. Y'all got these people standing outside. They done woke up early to be first in line. Probably had their clothes laid out like it was the first day of school. Y'all know better than that. It is hot in Georgia. Georgia and Texas heat ain't nothing to play with. That is not something you want to play with. Honey, that southern heat will burn you all the way the hell up. So Todd is like, we ain't trying to come in here and do the takeover. Here goes Chandrika. Well, y'all can't because we the originals. Well, honey, I wouldn't be bragging, honey, because them reviews are in shambles. Moving forward. So then Philip pipes up. He starts speaking his speech. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to be fighting with all these different personalities. I mean, you can either get with it or get lost, okay? Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more. Ooh, child. So Kandi was like, we kind of want to do a reunion. That's what she's telling the staff. We want to do a reunion with like the old staff and the new staff. Y'all can tell them this later. The doors need to be open. So the meeting ends, right? And they still trying to set up to open. It's supposed to open in 2 minutes. And it's still stuff all over the floor. The seats ain't where the seats need to be. Kandi, tell them about the opening and the family reunion and whatever y'all gonna do a little later. Moving forward. So Don Whiz pulls Chandrika to the side. Talking about step in my office real quick. He's like, okay, so what's going on now? She's like, well, I just don't like Philip. I don't like him like that. I just don't. He ain't giving what's supposed to be gave. Now, she ain't say all that, but I like to put a little zhuzh on him. He's like, okay, so how do you say that and you don't know him? Well, she hears his tone. That's why she don't like him. But y'all do need some structure in there because it's a business. But he does have a very condescending tone. So I can see why she just don't like him like that. So Don said, well, what he say does go. And so then he gonna pull Philip to the side. So he starts trying to facilitate the conversation between Philip and Chandrika. And she's like, I feel like you came in with like a what I say goes type of thing. And he's like, okay, so this is how we differ. When I speak, you need to listen. And when you speak, I'm going to listen. We're not about to do this. Like, I don't go back and forth with hourly employees that I employ to do a job at a certain level. Skirt. Philip, let me get you together real quick. I am all for you whipping them into shape and making this a well-oiled machine, but don't be talking down on hourly employees like you are above them. Okay? I don't like that. I cannot stand for somebody trying to make a living feeling less than because you don't get paid by the hour. But let me just let you in on something, honey. Your check can be divided just like everybody else's. So please stop talking down on people who work for an hourly wage. I did not like that. That little comment right there was very off-putting to me. I was like, not she hourly. And what else is going on? And another thing, okay, and this is just a side note, you do not employ her. Kandi and Todd employ both you and her. What Kandi said in that little preview, you don't pay me, I pay you. So I didn't know it was called Phillips. I thought it was called OLG. Oh, okay. Honey, boy, don't do that if you don't go. However, your message is not lost on me. I understand exactly what you're saying, but you don't need to be talking about, I'm not going to argue with you. You hourly. Child, anyway. So Todd and Kandi on the other side, and they talking. And Todd was like, people doing whatever they want to do up in here. It needs to be a change up in here. Facts. So Kandi was like, when people stick with me and they loyal, I just try to work with them. That's nice, Kandi. Kandi, a word, honey. I know that you want everybody to like you. You're a very likable lady. Everybody love them some Kandi. But this is a business. Like, her attitude sucks. Okay, and quite frankly, Philip ain't got a much better attitude, but he is good at running the business. Todd said, well, I don't need somebody that's loyal to me, that's not doing what I need them to do. I know that's real, child. You better speak your speech. So Philip is telling her, like, he's not going to tiptoe around her, and they going back and forth and back between the two of them. And so in his confessional, he's like, I'm not threatened. She's a greeter. Okay. The biggest pet peeve that I have is when people in position try to downplay what others do. I would like to just say this right here and right now. Everybody has a position in life. Everybody has to do something in order for something to get done. There has to be a garbage man. There has to be a maintenance man. There has to be a janitor. There has to be a maid. There has to be a server. There has to be a cook. There has to be a chef. People have to be in place to be these things. So when you say, oh, she's just a greeter, but you need a greeter, right? You need a greeter in there. Am I correct? Oh, okay. I don't like when people do that. I've never liked that. I don't like when people talk down on the service industry. Whatever you do and you make money at it and it's not illegal, please know that you are appreciated. If you are listening to this review and you are in transition and you are not in your position in life, I don't care if you wash people's windows for a living. You are appreciated. Shout out to Tupac. Moving forward. So it's almost 10 minutes after they're supposed to be open, right? People still standing outside. So she walks off and she gets upset, right? So she crying because she feels like he's rude. And Don Juan was like, well, he coming in here with kind of like the stick up the butt mentality. And it's not the model that I look at, but I know, that change is good. Yes, y'all need some change, honey, because y'all running this like a football game concession stand at this point. So it's almost 10 minutes after they supposed to be open, y'all. And people still standing outside. Inside, they still cleaning the floor. 20 minutes after it's time to open, they still moving chairs. Kandi, let me speak on it. Shout out to Kandi. You need to get it together. I like you, Kandi, but you're going to have to get it together. Kandi, you have always been a late person. It's been shown all up and through the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and now it's translating over to your business. That is not a good look. But you know what I do appreciate about Kandi is that she is giving everyone an insight into how it really is when you go and work at a restaurant and what's really going on behind the scenes, because you see your plate coming out looking real pretty and the server smiling and going away and bringing you a check. But what you don't see is everybody be sleeping together in restaurants, child, and that ain't allegedly. Everybody got some kind of drama or something behind the scenes. Sometimes the kitchen is falling apart, things stop working, but those are things that are not shown. So I do appreciate Kandi keeping it real and, basically just saying, listen, we're struggling and this is what's happening. I appreciate that. Moving forward. So in the next scene, Chandrika goes over to tell Dominique what happened. So Philip hears it and he's like, you can go home. So he sends her home. So now there's no hostess and y'all already late opening. Oh, I'm sorry. There's no greeter. So Don Juan goes to break the news to Kandi and Todd. Don Juan, this is my question to you. Why did you even have that conversation with them right before they opened? Like, they could have waited. It really could have. So Todd is like, well, you get disrespectful. I got to send you a message. Here go, Kandi. And that's why y'all get along. Kandi, these are your employees. They represent your business. They have to get it together or leave it alone, child. And baby, I was looking up, I was like, oh, child, they are packed on a Monday. In the next scene, Kandi goes to Aunt Nora's to talk to the sisters, and she wants to get their feedback on the restaurant's foolishness. OLG is Aunt Nora. She's 82, feisty, loves to dance, and gives free hugs. She is the sweetest out of all three of them. Aunt Nora's so sweet. Then we have Aunt Bertha. I like Aunt Bertha. She's so sassy. She 80 years old, sassy, and speaks her speech, and she is the side-eye queen. Sassy, bougie, ratchet. Ha. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. Then we have Mama Joyce, honey. Everybody loves them some Mama Joyce. Mama Joyce is 72. She's wild, gets all the tea, and is the life of the party. Baby, when I tell you these ladies are goals, let me tell you something. My grandmother is 89, I think. Yeah, she's 89 years old. She ain't moving, honey. She ain't moving and grooving. They're still mobile. They're still vibrant. They're beautiful women. I had no idea that those were their ages. Like, I legit did not believe that they were that old. Like, Kandi is going to age well because it's in her DNA. Baby, I pray I age that gracefully. Not 82, 80, and 72. Child, what they drinking and eating out there? I need to get some of that. So she calls Aunt Bertha outside first because she want to get the ladies separate. She was like, look, they're sisters. They sometimes gang up on people, hence the name, Old Lady Gang. So I'm going to take them one-on-one. So she takes Aunt Bertha out first. Child, I swear Aunt Bertha acts just like my grandma. When I tell y'all just like, child, she is a no-nonsense woman, and I love every bit of it. I be trying to soak it all in. Child, be calling her, cackling on the phone with her like she one of my girlfriends. Child, I love it. So anywho, they talking outside. Here go Aunt Bertha. I'm finna give them hell. Oh, child. So they go outside, and she asked her what she thinks going on over at the restaurant. She was like, well, them employers, ain't none of them worth a damn. Worth, honey. W-E-R-F. Not to be confused with worth. W-O-R-T-H. I know that's right. Mama Joyce said, well, the manager, Brandon, he don't give a crap about the place. And I heard him say it. I heard him say that myself. So then Aunt Nora said, them people that's working down there, they don't really care, child. So then they go back to Aunt Bertha. She was like, if I got to work with you, Don't have no nasty, ugly attitude like that girl that used to work there. Kandi said, the hostess? She said, yeah, Chandrilla. Let me tell y'all something. The way I was hollering when she called that girl Chandrilla, Bertha. Not Chandrilla, child. Seasoned people will change a name in a minute, honey. Especially a good old Southern woman. Baby, she gonna give you a name if she don't do nothing else. So Kandi said, you mean Chandrika? Well, honey, that ain't no better. She said, yeah. Kandi said, well, she still works there. Well, that show you right there, Bertha pay her dust. Child, she don't even realize the girl is still employed. Baby, this is a fool. Nobody likes Chandrilla, Kandi. They don't like her attitude, child, so it might be time for her to go. Moving forward. So Kandi said, when we started, we wanted the restaurant to include their recipes and for them to take a few pictures, not for them to be so involved. So they go in the house. They all sit down together. She's talking to them about things that they need to work on. And Kandi is like, Mama, can you please stay out of the kitchen? Here go Aunt Bertha. Yeah, because you gonna fall. Mama Joy said, well, I wear the right shoes. Aunt Bertha said, I don't care nothing about them shoes. I love to hear them interact. They are so cute. But let me just tell you this. Those slip-resistant shoes ain't worth a damn, as my Aunt Bertha would say. Shout out to Aunt Bertha. Because the way that those kitchen floors are set up, as you're walking, there's grease. There's all types of drinks that have been spilled back there. Sometimes there's food. Child, some people... Let me just say this. Them slip-resistant shoes are not always slip-resistant. I'm just going to say it like that. So she was like, I just really want us to have like an OLG reunion. And they just looking. In the next scene at the restaurant, it's the day of the OLG reunion. We meet Mr. Torin. He's 32 from the ATL. He's an event manager. He brings the zhuzh, okay? He's been doing event planning for the last 12 years. He's used to planning things, and he used to plan their Friday night lives. And it was good until it wasn't. So basically, they were trying to have him here, there, and everywhere like they like to do. They were spreading him too thin. He got overwhelmed, and he just quit. In the middle of a shift, he was just like, I'm done. I can't do no more, honey. I'm ready to go right now. Shout out to John Legend and Andre 3000. Honey, he was ready to go. And that's exactly what he did. Kandi wants him to come on back. So he starts setting up, and then he heads out, and everybody starts to arrive. So they outside partying, inside is business as usual. So Chandrika sees Philip. She said, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just do my thing, what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to shut up, and then I'm going to go home at the end of the day. Yes, honey, that's probably for the best, Chandrilla. It's probably for the best. I appreciate you having a change of heart, and I think I'm going to like Chandrika a little later. I don't know. It's just something about her that I feel like she may have a redeeming quality. I don't know just yet, but from the first episode, and I saw how she got emotional when she felt like Philip was being rude, and then Philip kind of talked down on her, which made me not like him too much, honey. I was side-eyeing him. I'm like, yes, I'm for you in the structure, but y'all don't be talking down on people, honey. So I think I might like her a little later, and she done came to terms with the fact that she just need to be quiet and just get through it, okay? Just go and get through it. Moving forward. So baby Torin left, but then he shows back up in his peach Easter Sunday short set, honey, equipped with the blazer, giving all the knees. I said, baby, that boy got them knees out. Torin, you gonna pass the hell out in that Georgia heat in this blazer. I know the cameras are rolling and whatnot, honey, but don't pass out trying to be cute. And so Dominique was like, ever since Torin left, it's been boring as hell. Point blank and the period, it's been boring. He's like, I just really care so much about OLG. This is what he's saying in his confessional. I just want to come back because it's black owned. And, I want to see my people succeed. And you want to see yourself on TV. And you ain't fooling me. Boy, goodbye. So then here comes Brian. Child. And I am not sure what it's giving. Okay. Brian seemed cute in his confessional. But right now I'm not sure what he's giving. But I know what he was giving. He was giving everybody one of them flyers to promote his food business. That's what he was giving. I said, look at Brian. Baby, Brian went straight old school. Passing out the flyers. Here, come meet me over here. I'm open every day at noon. I know that's real. He's 36. He's from LA, and he's an ex-bartender. He left to focus on his business. He said he's eating at OLG, and it's kind of like Patti LaBelle's voice. He's like, it hits or misses. First of all, Brian, no Patti slander will be tolerated, okay? Patti's vocals are top notch, okay? She'll sing that thoke back. Do y'all hear me? Baby, Patti still got it. I don't care what nobody say, honey. Y'all can agree to disagree, but Patti is a legend, honey, and Patti gonna sing if she don't do nothing else. So he over there talking to Kandi, and Kandi tells him that they made some changes, so he should come on back. And he said, it was home for him, so he'll come back. And child, Brian gonna be a trip. So then we see Rashad. He's 28 from Baltimore. Y'all know Baltimore, where Vanessa went to see The Wretched to have big fun. Shout out to Vanessa. He's a host, and he's overdressed to impress. Oh, Rashad with his little baby face. He works at Blaze. And Kandi asked him if he could come over and help out Chandrika, honey, as hostess, because, child, she needs some help. Kandi, I thought you said you had 3 hostess. So, how's this going, child? He's like, OLG is fairly urban. This is what he's saying in his confessional. You see they're wearing jean on jean. No, you mean denim, denim, denim. That's what they wear. Child, they wearing denim, denim, denim. That uniform reminds me of a prison uniform. I don't like that uniform. I would not be able to do it, y'all. He was like, you don't see suits and ties. Well, it's a casual dining place. So they're not going to be dressed in no suit and ties, even coming in there to eat, y'all. So Kandi takes Rashad over to meet Chandrika. And I just want to say this before I go any further. I really like the cast so far. I do. I like all of them. So Dominique is over there getting faded. I'm faded. Child, she is getting faded. He's like, oh my gosh, I hope I'm never that way when I'm that old. Rashad, honey, you're 28, she's 32. She's only 4 years older than you are. Okay? Don't start that. So Todd looks over there and notices that they getting loose as a goose. Here go Todd. Lock the bars up. Everybody's a little saucy. Child, not lock the bars up. Oh, honey, these people crazy. In the next scene, it's the next day, and Chandrika late for work, talking about, I'm really just trying to figure out how to navigate the ATL traffic. Girl, you have been there for 4 years, honey. I don't want to hear it. You know enough to leave early, honey. It's very simple. So she gets there with 0 seconds left before they open. When I tell you she got there by the hair on her chinny chin, she barely made it through the door. Child didn't say nothing to nobody, immediately start working. Oh, no, ma'am, honey, that is unacceptable. You need to be telling me why you were late. Girl, but not right now. We ain't got time to talk about it because we got to open these doors up. But you best believe you're going to see me before your shift is over. So she starts telling him how they do the seating because Rashad is there, right? And he's like, y'all don't have an iPad? No, sir, honey. Straight old school at OLG. So she starts greeting the guests. So Philip checks with her and he's like, what's the wait time? She was like, oh, it's just 2 hours. Oh, honey. I would have to catch them on the flip side. 2 hours for food and a possible Kandi sighting? Oh, no thanks. Absolutely not. Meanwhile, Philip over there trying to tell Brandon, he's like, yeah, we're going to do this, that, and the third. And, over there, we're going to be doing this. And Philip said, do you have the systems and how they work, with the greeters? Child, he ain't paying him no attention. When I tell you he over there looking at Dominique and trying to figure out how that thinging, he could care less what Philip is talking about. So Philip realizes and he don't give a damn and he walks away. So here go Brandon. He is so uptight. No, he's there to keep it professional and do his job. Y'all want to play all day. Back over at the host stand, Chandrika starts greeting the guests, and she does speak to them like she don't want to be there. And I don't like that. I'm like, Chandrika, girl, put a smile on your face. Act like you're happy to be at work. And Rashad was like, I don't think she's a good host. Like, she has a piercing in her neck. And I did think he was being a little bit judgy, but this is the thing. Every place I've worked makes you take those types of things out. You cannot be at the host stand with, all your stuff out like that. You're going to have to cover that up. They also maybe should impose an all-black dress code. Kandi, if you listen to this review, I think maybe, I'm just saying, now I ain't trying to tell y'all what to do. I'm just saying, maybe an all-black dress code and even have the hostess in all black. That way, it gives the restaurant a more uniformed look. I'm just saying, honey, that's just my 2 cents. So he taking the people up and down these stairs, child. It's people everywhere. There's no designated waiting area. It's a mess. She's sitting everybody downstairs and he got to take them upstairs and then got to take them around the block. Child, it was just a whole fool. Over on the other side, Brandon behind the bar trying to get Dominique's attention, asking her out on a date. All that fraternizing causes nothing but workplace drama. Trust me. Trust me, I know. He's like, yeah, I went to OLG as a customer and I saw her there and so I applied. Baby, he definitely liked more than wings when he went there, child. So while they're in the middle of the rush, the power goes out. People sweating, Philip worrying about if people gonna leave without paying, and will. Child, I wish I would. I wish I would sit here and wait for your machine to come back up so I can pay with a card. And don't nobody carry cash no more. Honey, this is on y'all. Okay, thank you for the complimentary wings and waffles. Child, I got to go. So he's checking for power outages. Why in the world don't they have a backup generator? That is the first thing that came to my mind. So then Kandi finally arrived. She's pissed that the power is out. Ma'am, y'all need to have systems in place. She's like, this is the worst day for the power to go out because it's a busy Saturday and you know they gonna blame me. They gonna be like, ooh, the power is out, the lights are out. They think I should have electricity shooting through my fingers. Well, no. Because let me tell you something. As long as you create an experience, even with the lights out, you should be fine. What you should have been doing is saying to everybody, hey, my apologies. You know what, y'all? Lunch is on me. Everybody who's in the line outside, you go outside and you make an announcement. You tell them, hey, guys, we're without power at the moment. I am so sorry for the inconvenience. I hope that you guys will rejoin us when our power is restored. But for right now, we are unable to seat you because we want you to have the ultimate experience. That's all it takes, child. Y'all call me, honey. I'll come down there and get them together, child. Me and Philip will get them together. And I'm going to get him together while we getting them together, child. It'll be a whole get-together situation. So, anywho, she mad and she thinking that they want her to have fingers that have electricity and whatnot. No. We will just be thinking you need to have a backup generator. If I waited 2 hours and the power went out, I'm telling you right now I'm going to be pissed. And, Philip, I'm telling you right now I ain't paying. Okay? I said what I said and I ain't changing it. So Kandi is roaming around, speaking to the guests and whatnot. Philip goes up to her and he's like, they said the power gonna be out until 7. Baby, 7 o'clock is 3.5 hours away. Oh, no, ma'am, honey. 86 OLG for the day, honey. We're done. No more OLG for the day. It is no way if you can stay open. Like, you can't even cook anything. She's like, the power goes out quite often over here. And, I think eventually we're gonna need to buy a generator. Girl, you have been open for 4 years. That is an investment that you should have made a long time ago. Eventually. So then we see Todd in his confessional. He's like, yeah, I know y'all about to say, why y'all ain't got no generator? Listen, it's a lot. You got to go to the city. You got to figure out where it's going to be located. So the power being out for an hour or two, like, we can live with that. I'm going to just say this, and I'm about to get ready to end this review. This is why people lose faith in Black-owned businesses, because they like to cut corners. We cannot do that. If y'all know that the power goes out in your area and you've been open for 4 years, it is no excuse. We do not need to give people any excuse to talk down on our Black-owned businesses. Yes, things happen in a restaurant. I'm not saying that they don't. But after being open for 4 years, you should know, and this is not a new occurrence, so you should have known from the previous times that you're going to need a generator. Like, what about the integrity of your business? Like, who wants to be worried about eating in the dark? Also, what about the food preservation during those outages? Child, this is a fool. If the power goes out, that means the refrigerators go down, the food that's prepped, because, listen, let me just say this for those of you who've never worked in a restaurant, and we're going to wrap this up. There's a prep line in the back that's operating as the restaurant is open. It's food being prepared before they prepare the food to go out to the guests. So if the power is out for 2 hours plus and you have food out, raw meat and all that stuff just out. So Philip says in his confessional, he's like, it's ridiculous that they have no generator. There's no crash kit for the credit cards, no manual reader. He's like, it just really gives me insight into how deep the problems are. Child, they running the food truck at this point. Child, they doing whatever they want to do. So then we see Dominique and she's like, this is embarrassing. Like, I don't want to be here when the lights are on. So why are the lights off? And scene. And baby, that was the first episode of OLG. It's giving hustle and soul. Baby, let's keep the party going. I like this show. I really do. It was refreshing. And I guess because I've worked in restaurants, it really gets me going. Because let me tell you something that y'all may not know about me. I am a Vanderpump Rules fan. Now, not so much, but like the earlier seasons, like probably seasons 1 through 3, I was all in. Do y'all hear me? I was invested. And so now I'm invested in Kandi and I'm about to speak on it every single Sunday. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about the episode. What y'all think about the show so far? Do you like it? I think it's cute. Child, we're going to reconvene here and we're going to continue to get into it as we get into it. Y'all don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.